smartphones are getting really good and really cheap. I mean, if you go back in time and show any of these phones to someone and then tell them they are under $400, I don't think anyone will believe you. But here we are today, with these three phones almost giving a flagship experience at a very reasonable price. But which one of these is the best? Let's first talk about the VIVO V9. The build quality in this is pretty decent. The back is made up of plastic. It's very smooth and very solid. It feels like actually good quality plastic. However, it seems like the body is trying to look like metal, but in the end of the day, it's just plastic. And plastic will always feel like plastic. The OPPO F7 has the same issue. The back is again made of plastic, but it's trying its best to feel like glass. And the sides are trying their best to feel like metal. It seems a bit phony. I feel like I'm feeling a piece of jewelry instead of holding a phone. In the P20 LITE, there isn't any deception. There's no part trying to convince you it's something else. The back is made up of actual glass and the sides are made of actual metal. I think this is the reason why it feels so much better in the hand. It's high quality, it has heft, and it's more easier to hold because of the size. So when it comes to the build quality, the materials and the premium feeling of the phone, the P20 LITE takes the cake. Let's talk about bezels and notches. It's amazing that all three of the phones have minimal bezels. The VIVO V9 has the smallest bezels and the quality of the display is also really good. I don't have many problems with the VIVO V9 display. It's big, it's vibrant, and the front panel looks the best when compared to the other phones. The OPPO F7 on the other hand has slightly bigger bezels. They aren't too big and it's not really much of a problem, but when compared to the VIVO phone, I'll go with the VIVO V9. Just because it looks slightly better. The quality of the display is pretty much identical to the VIVO V9, but the contrast is slightly different on the OPPO phone. The blacks are slightly more darker, and in my opinion, the display looks slightly better on the VIVO V9. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, there is the P20 LITE. The display size is the smallest, at 5.8 inches. It's almost like a completely different form factor. However, because the display is smaller and has the same resolution, the pixel per inch density is higher on the P20 LITE. And because of this, the display feels much more concentrated and sharper than either the OPPO F7 or the VIVO V9. The colors are also slightly more saturated and slightly more vibrant on this phone. The P20 LITE also has the smallest notch, but it also has the biggest bezels. When it comes to the quality, the P20 LITE has the best display. When it comes to the looks and the bezel size, then the VIVO V9 edges out the competition. When it comes to the camera, all three of the phones have something that's better than the other. For example, the OPPO F7 has a 2x zoom button right on the display. It's just digital zoom, but I still like that the button is there. In the VIVO V9, you can adjust the amount of bokeh even after you take the photo. You can do this on the P20 LITE as well, but it's not as good as the VIVO V9. If we talk about the quality of the photos, then the P20 LITE takes the best photos. They look so much more vibrant. The colors look so much better than OPPO and VIVO. The portrait mode is also the best on this phone. After the P20 LITE, I'd say that the photos from the back camera look better from the OPPO F7 than the VIVO V9. In the front camera, it's a slightly different story. The P20 LITE still takes the best photo and the most realistic photo. The VIVO V9 overexposed the photo a bit and the OPPO F7 applied way too much post-processing. Everything looks like plastic. It makes me want to not use the camera at all. Overall, if I had to choose a camera between these phones, I would go with the P20 LITE. After the P20 LITE, I'd go with the OPPO F7 for the back camera and the VIVO V9 for the front camera. When I started using all these phones, the OPPO F7 felt the most quickest. But then, it just started getting stuck. There are so many bugs on the OPPO F7, it's crazy. When opening apps, the F7 and the V9 were faster than the P20 LITE. And sometimes the P20 LITE will be faster, but at least it's stable. The OPPO F7 is just not stable at all. Gaming was great on the P20 LITE and on the VIVO V9. It will be better on the OPPO F7 if it decides to run the games. It just gets stuck. The OPPO F7 has a better GPU than either of these phones, but you can only use it when the phone decides to run the game. It's annoying. There are also many other great features in these phones, like the fingerprint sensor and the face unlock. The fingerprint sensor on the VIVO V9 and the OPPO F7 is really quick. They unlock the phone at exactly the same time. The face unlock is the fastest on the OPPO F7. It's so quick it doesn't even show the lock screen. You press the unlock button and it directly opens the home screen. The P20 LITE also has a very accurate face unlock and a very fast fingerprint sensor, but it's not as quick as the OPPO F7 or the VIVO V9. If I had to go with a phone for performance, I'd go with the VIVO V9. It's fast and it's stable. The P20 LITE is also really good, but the VIVO V9 is slightly faster than the P20 LITE and more stable than the OPPO F7. Let's talk about the battery. The OPPO F7 has the larger battery capacity and it lasts the longest. All three of these phones will get you through one day without any problems. But the OPPO F7 lasts a few hours more than the VIVO V9 and the P20 LITE. The VIVO V9 has the second best battery life and the P20 LITE comes at third. Before I tell you guys which phone would I get, I thought I should get some outside perspective. So I went to some other students and asked them what they think.
दिखते तो दोनों ही अच्छे हैं। वैसे जो वीवो है इट फील्स मोर कंफर्टेबल व्हाइल होल्डिंग, क्योंकि इसकी जो एजेस हैं वो थोड़ी सी कर्व्ड हैं, तो होल्डिंग में थोड़ा इजी है और है ये भी सही, लेकिन आई प्रेफर दिस वन।
फ़ोन की बात है, फ़ोन तो दोनों ही अच्छे हैं, लेकिन ओप्पो का ये जो मॉडल है ये आई थिंक मेरे ख्याल से ज़्यादा बेटर है, क्योंकि एक तो इसकी होल्डिंग अच्छी है और डिस्प्ले इसका अच्छा है।
मैं प्रेफर करता हूँ ग्लास बैग को, तो इसमें ग्लास बैग मुझे मिलती है, इसमें प्लास्टिक है, तो ये मुझे इस तरह चीप फील होता है।
दोनों में से कैमरा जो है मुझे ये वीवो का अच्छा लगा है, क्योंकि ओप्पो का जो कैमरा थोड़ा क्रीमी लग रहा है, लेकिन वीवो कैमरे में नेचुरल चीज़ है, इसलिए ये वीवो का कैमरा ज़्यादा बेटर है।
मैं अच्छी तरह से इसे ग्रिप कर सकता हूँ, ठीक है, और ये मेरी पॉकेट में आसानी से जा सकता है, ठीक है।
I really enjoyed using all these phones. All these phones have something that's better than the other, except the OPPO phone. The OPPO phone is it just doesn't make much sense to me. It doesn't have the best camera, it doesn't have the best display, it could have the best performance, if only it didn't get stuck all the time. And this phone is the most expensive out of three. I will not buy this phone. I will either get the P20 LITE or the VIVO V9. The VIVO V9 looks the best. The bezels are the smallest and everything else is really great as well. On the other hand, the P20 LITE has the best build quality, the best camera and the best display. So I guess if I was pushed to buy one, I'd get the P20 LITE. But if I could, I would buy both. I really love both of these phones. Well guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to see more videos and comment down below which phone would you like to get. Peace.